Right. 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 Correct. That's what he is going to. ಇಲ್ಲ they I just sent the recording clear at 2 minutes பேசியிருக்கேன் பாரு அவங்க கூட. Just I so he's clearly told me Karthik either 10 a.m. on 7th or worst case noon, right? And so அதுதான் Yeah, hi Sunita. Good to see you. You are on the live stream now, and we still have 2 to 3 minutes before the event starts. Thank you for joining. Thank you, Dr. Somnath Singh. We can also quickly do a audio video check, sir. Are you able to join? Dr. Somnath Singh, Deputy Director from United Nations.
Hello, Dr. Ramesh. Yes, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yes.
Can you hear the drone of the Tanpura?
I could hear it softly. I could hear it at the background.
Okay, yeah. Not now,
So-
but when I do the final little
Yes,
demo,
yes.
for the demo, I need this. Yeah,
Yeah.
you can.
Yeah. So I want to, I think we'll just give another 2 minutes. I just wanted to do a quick check. Dr. Somnath, can you say something so that I know your audio is working, sir?
Hello, I'm Dr. Somnath from UN Global Company Network India. Can you hear me? Am I
Yes,
audible?
yes, we can hear you. Thank you so much, sir, for
Thank you.
joining.
Thank you.
Yes. So you're already on the live stream, both of you. We just wait for another 2 minutes and we'll start the event. Thank you. Thank you.
Sure. Dr. Ramesh, did you put me on Spotlight, or did
Yes, I'm going to. Yeah, you can join now on Spotlight.
I had removed the
Yeah,
Spotlight.
but your video is not visible now, I think.
So you can get that back again. I
Yeah,
thought I had done it by mistake. Sorry.
I'm just asking to start video, and I put you on the spotlight. So, welcome everybody. I think it's great to be back to day 2 of the hackathon, where we have just 48 hours left for the grand finale. And I'm very pleased today to welcome our first 2 esteemed guests for today. I will start off by introducing Ms. Sunita Boyan, who is basically a well-known Indian musician, a violinist, and she's been a child prodigy who started a musical career right at the age 8. So, as young students, joining in from different parts of the country, IITs, IIITs, private top universities, BITS Dubai, who's also our partner. I think we all agree that learning never stops, and Ms. Sunita is a great example of that. And I think her inspiration, as she has said in her own words, is her mother, Srimati Minoti Khan, who was a Hindustani classical violinist. And she's received several awards like Priyadarshini Award, the Giants International Award. And more than anything, I think one is to, enthrall audiences globally, as she did recently. I was lucky to be part of Sunita's program in Bharat Mandap in front of the Honorable Prime Minister. Most recently, she did one, with the Ministry of External Affairs. So it's amazing, Sunita ji, to see how you do this. But the best part is, I think she's not only giving life to, musical concerts, but she's actually lighting the lamps of wisdom by being a leadership coach and playing the role of a transformative journey across, India and globally. She's well known as a leadership coach. She does many HR interventional programs. And, it's really an honor today, Sunitaji, to have you on this live stream of the IIIT Sri City International Healthcare Hackathon, which is done in collaboration with BITS Pilani Dubai campus. I see Dr. Srikanth and the team joined in. So you are on a live Zoom call. We also have Dr. Somnath Singh. I'll introduce him shortly thereafter. But we are on a live Zoom call, which is being web streamed on the official channel of IIIT Sri City, which is an institute of eminence. And we're looking forward to a very beautiful session. I'm sure you're intertwining music with a lot of words of wisdom for all the young people out there in the country and in UAE. Thank you. The stage is all yours.
Vakirtunda Mahakaya Surya Koti Samaprabha Nirvighnam Kurukedeva Sarvakareshu Sarvada. A very good evening to all of you. Thank you, Dr. Ramesh, for the warm introduction. And it's a pleasure and honor to be part of this IIIT Healthcare Hackathon. And being a practitioner of music, I think it is just the right time for us to experience how the world of music, the world of art, is also scientific, and its impact on the mind and body is very, very profound. And hence, the arts, the music, dance, as well as vocal music. They say Geetam, Vaidam, Tatha Nrittam, Trayam, Sangitam, Muchyate. These are the 3 elements of music that create the world of melody and harmony. And all these 3 elements together has a very strong impact on the human senses. And they say that the senses and our sensibilities define how we feel, who we are, and how we react to the environment. So, dear friends, thanks for logging in from all different parts of the world. I'm here doing this session from my hometown. I live in Mumbai otherwise, but I'm now in Assam in Guwahati, and I'm streaming this from Guwahati. And I would like to wish everyone a very, very happy spring that we are heralding very soon. Well, coming back to music, music, apart from being a great entertaining platform, has got two amazing benefits on the mind and body. One, as I earlier said, music travels from the source of the musician, the artist, the singer, or the machine and moves via the sound waves of the atmosphere and reaches the mind of the listener or the audience. And as soon as we start hearing a piece of music, and if we like what we hear and we enjoy the melody, our mind sends signals to different parts of the body. It's almost like our brain telling our nervous system that, hey, we like what we're hearing. Can we calm down? And when our mind and body goes through this process of enjoying the music, from graduating from hearing to listening, and then actively listening to the melody, our body starts producing the feel-good hormones, which is endorphins. And as we enjoy the music further and we get immersed in the experience and get immense pleasure out of it, that's when our body produces dopamine also. And endorphins and dopamine, these two hormones, are the basis of how the therapy of music works. And as we, produce these hormones in the body, we start feeling good, feeling great, feeling happy, feeling relaxed. Hence, as you know, my dear friends, the feeling of happiness is not an intangible feeling. It is actually scientific because of what happens and goes through our body. And this is the context of music therapy, which is being used across hospitals, centers, rehabilitation centers, and very, very soon now in boardrooms and training sessions, because as our mind gets calm and as our body produces those hormones, it starts regenerating our tired cells. And that's when our body feels fresh, refreshed, and rejuvenated. And hence, alternative therapies, which are used for recuperating patients, for people who are battling, mental health procedures, or even for postnatal, prenatal development. So when sound can have such an impact on an unborn child in the womb of the mother, you can imagine how much impact it can have on a live human being. And they say, of course, the plant kingdom and the animal kingdom also respond to sound and sound and music. Hence, this whole process in medical terminology, I'm sure there are so many eminent healthcare professionals here in this webinar, is that sound has a huge impact on cognitive preservation, and sound can heal the mind. And hence my little association with Dr. Amandal of the National Brain Research Center has taught me quite a few insights on how even a creative engagement in the body, it just doesn't have to be a laboratory environment where we go through certain kinds of music, in the morning for morning ragas, afternoon ragas, evening ragas, and late night ragas, but also for for people who engage in any creative activity, creative action increases the cognitive health of our brains. And hence that's why music therapy, hence healing through music, music for mental health, music therapy for alternative healing are initiatives that are being taken across the world today. And a lot of work is also done for children with disability, adults with disability, and most importantly, for terminally ill cancer patients for their recuperations, because like they say, beyond the point of time, it's what we like doing that keeps us going. Hence, love, care, kindness, and artistic interventions like music, dance, poetry helps the mind relax and create those feel-good hormones in the body. And this is how we think that the creative world can actually impact the mind and body. And then, of course, coming to the science part of it. Now, who we are, how we are born, our body, our flesh and blood, the color of our hair, our genes, our ancestral descent determine is science. We are made and structured in a certain way. But the way we express ourselves, the way we use our faculties, the way we react to the environment is aesthetics. Hence, what you see in music, my dear friends, or in the arts world is the expression, is the unique style of expression of the artist. But at the back end, it's the science and the faculties and the way in which the mind operates which is the scientific part. Hence, they say music is a great art within a science. Now, that's as far as the expression. But what about the theory of music? It's got math, because rhythm is math, and melody. The melody, the perfect pitch is science too, is physics. The way I have my violin with me, which I call my weapon of choice. You can see this is a very old Scottish fiddle, Scottish violin, and the strings are tied in a particular fashion. And the way the violin is built, the sound pole, the fingerboard, the way we adjust our strings and the way we fine tune, all of this is very, very physical. And that's why they say physics, sound, math, melody, perfect pitch. All of this that goes together to create a harmony is very, very scientific. So that's about music and its impact on the mind and body. Now, the Indian music system has got some very special facets, apart from the emotional, background of Guru Shishya Parampara, how a lot of tacit knowledge gets transferred from the Guru to the Shishya. Everything is not written down. And I think even in leadership, in businesses and organizations and institutions, everything cannot be determined by the textbook. There is so much more in the transfer of knowledge and the tacit knowledge that happens between the teacher and the taught, the Guru and the Shishya and the mentor and the mentee. So that's about the emotional part of Indian music or Indian knowledge system, especially keeping in mind classical music. But there is also a lot of science in the way the ragas are structured. Hence, a morning rag. It can be used for recuperative therapy for arthritis, pain in the bones. Then we have mid-morning rags like Rag Bilawal. Then we have afternoon rags like Rag Bhimpalashti. And you'll be very amazed to know that a lot of jazz, folk music is based in Bhimpalashti, apart from, of course, popular music. Then you have evening rags for us to relax. We have late evening rags to induce sleep. Well, this is a huge subject, and there is a paper in the Master of Music on the time theory of music, which is of Indian classical music. But let me, as we have here, it's a short session, let me move on to something a little more engaging, which is the 7 notes of Indian music, and how the creative process comes from within the structure, and how that structure becomes such an aesthetically presented form of 7 notes. So the 7 notes of Indian music are sa re ga ma pa da ni sa ma ga re sa. In the Western world, it is do re mi fa sol la ti do ti la so fa mi re do. You'll be amazed to know that all the music in the world, all the music under the sun in this universe is based on these 7 notes only. Can you imagine just 7 notes and hundreds and thousands and millions and trillions of compositions in different styles: Indian classical, Western classical, rock, jazz, folk, Launi of Maharashtra, the Assamese Bihu where I come from, Celtic, the gypsy music, the rock, jazz, African, all kinds of music, Hollywood, Bollywood, all the music in the world has 7 notes, just the 7 notes. And as we learn music deeper and deeper, it's much like our domain. It's a domains world. The deeper the depth of a subject, wider our ability to align to the world. Because whatever may happen to the economy, to the world, with where it's volatile, unpredictable, change, dynamic, a person with deep domain expertise is always in demand. And what happens in the Indian music system is that the same ragas that we learned in our foundation keep on, the way when we keep playing them, we discover different facets of these ragas, and you find these structures in different kinds of music. Let me show you a small demo. Dr. Ramesh, do timekeeping, because at times with music, we may get carried away, so that, I don't exceed the time. Well, if you give these notes to a classical guru, he or she would create a rag, because that's his or her domain. Let's see how these 7 notes get created to a rag. Sa re ga pa ma ga re ga pa ma ga ma re sa ga pa da ni sa re da ni da pa ma ga re ga pa ma ga ma re sa. Rag Bilawal, a morning rag. I'm using a morning rag because this rag gives me a lot of flexibility to explain this whole dynamics of creativity. Rag Bilawal. Now, when we give these 7 notes to a music director, say in the Indian film industry, the Hindi film industry, he or she would create a song. It could be a love song, a situational song, a nazam, a geet, a ghazal. It could be any kind of song. So let's see how this gets transformed. The same 7 notes gets transformed to a song. Sa re ga pa ma ga re ga pa ma ga sa pa ma re pa ma sa pa ma re ga ma ga sa ni sa re piya bole kya ye bole janu na. Now, this was a beautiful melody created in period Bengal with a lot of prep and planning, with the whole visuals in mind. It has to be a beautiful melody. What about a melody in a cabaret, in a club? Does that have 7 notes? We come to the biggest lesson of inclusion through music. There is no class or mass in music. All the music in the world has 7 notes. Like love is universal, humanity is universal, music is universal too. Sappa, da ni sa ni da sappa, da ni sa ni da pa re, re ga ma pa re, ga ma pa ma ga pa re, ga ma ga pa ga re sa. This song, which is very common. So this is Kaisi Paheli, a song in a club. That's also got 7 notes. Whether it's a bhajan in the temple, a hymn in the church, an item number in Bollywood, it's just got 7 notes. So there is no class or mass in music, and hence music does teach us a lesson of inclusion, but it also teaches us that deeper the depth. It's not that I'm a great violinist, I'm able to play these melodies for you, but because of the deep depth of the classical music training that my mother gave musicians like ourselves, and the gurus all across the world have been imparting to their students, it gives the power to be able to innovate, create, recreate hundreds and thousands of melodies with these just 7 notes. And what does the world want today? They want more with less. We just have so much energy in the planet, so much that nature has. We've got to conserve, preserve, create, recreate. And that's what we do even with our music, be it any kind of music under the sun. And if we can share this benefit of music, the element of creativity, the element of scientific healing with those who need it, be our elders, people who are ill, people who don't have access, we also then increase 2 more hormones in the body. I know I'm preaching to the choir with so many healthcare professionals here, but 2 more hormones of love and care, nurturing, serotonin and oxytocin. They also get produced in the body. And if you can have all these 4 hormones, endorphins, dopamine, serotonin, oxytocin, then I can guarantee that, we can delay our aging process. A lot of ailments like Alzheimer's and those age-related ailments can get delayed. So hence, let's spread the music. I'm here in Assam, like I said, in Guwahati, and spring is near. So I'm going to show you the universality of music as I sign off from this session. There's a lot more to music that can contribute to the healthcare, business, because music and its engagement can teach us many leadership lessons too, of working together with differences. Today itself, I have a violin, a bow, an electronic tanpura. As you can see, it's giving me the standing notes. I have the Zoom on this laptop, but all together creates that music. Hence, working with differences, but yet working towards the larger common goal. Everyone in an orchestra of 150 people or 200 people are playing different instruments and with different melodies, but they're all singing and playing in harmony. Hence, it teaches us a lot of lessons on leadership too. But coming back to what we started, the concept of creativity, I'm going to fuse an Assamese bihu, an Assamese folk song from where I am, with a Scottish reel, because I'm using a Scottish violin. Thank you very much. Thank you, Dr. Ramesh, for putting this together. Over to you. It was a pleasure and honor to talk about music, its healing properties, and the world of creativity within these 7 notes.
Yeah, thank you so much, Sunitaji, for that enthralling session of music and the way you intertwined inspirational messages. You spoke about creativity through creation of music, and basically the way you have enabled this overall session, I think, is going to give a lot of food for thought for the students, because they are going to look at how, beyond their work, their exam schedules, their education, commitments, I think everybody has to find their sweet spot. They have to carve out a hobby. They have to carve out a space where they can operate and they can do something even outside the usual run of the mill and the rat race which we live in today. So it is something which we are very grateful to you that you took time off. I know it has been a very busy day for you, but to come in at the end of it and give such a beautiful performance is something which we are very grateful for, from IIIT Sri City International Healthcare Hackathon. And I'm sure the students will also, who have not been able to join, I'm sure the video is always there. They will go back there and they will listen to it. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Ramesh. One small little message is that I know exams are coming near. There are a lot of deadlines. If you have a hobby of music and you have a guitar on the attic and you do sing, please do not stop doing that when you're stressed or when exams are near, because the little bit of time that you spend doing your favorite kind of music or listening to your favorite kind of music is going to enable better learning for you, help you internalize your subjects even more. So go for it. And use music for your benefit, not as a recreation only. Thank you.
Thank you once again. And we look forward to having you visit the campus sometime, both in IIIT Sri City and BITS Pilani, Dubai. I'm sure that day is not very far off. Have a lovely evening. Thank you so much. So we are back to the second part of the day 2 of the IIIT Sri City International Healthcare Hackathon. where we have with us our second speaker for the day, who is none other than Dr. Somnath Singh. I would like to take the opportunity to quickly introduce Dr. Somnath Singh. Dr. Somnath Singh is the Deputy Director of the United Nations Global Compact Network India, which is a body which is actively enabling policy making of United Nations across public health, ESG, sustainability, gender equality, child and youth empowerment, business integrity, policy advocacy, public-private partnership, and stakeholder engagement. And Dr. Somnath Singh is one of the pioneering champions of this initiative of UN Global Compact Network India. I was lucky to meet him a couple of years back at the Satyasai Grama Mudanali, where I am today. And he had organized a fabulous program. He's been constantly recognized for his strategic vision and leadership. And what I love about Dr. Somnath Singh's approach is that he's very hands-on when it comes to driving the change to foster sustainable development. And he's a big proponent of ethical business practices. I've also been lucky to be invited and speak at some of these forums which he has created across the healthcare community, the pharmaceutical sector. The constant focus of United Nations Global Compact Network has been to basically drive change in terms of enabling this through the Global Compact Network, which is basically a non-profit society. This is affiliated, to the United Nations, and membership is only by invite, based on the impact of work which an organization does. Dr. Somnath Singh is not a medical doctor, but he's a PhD. In his own words, he used to tell us that he always wanted to be a doctor. And that's why we have you here, Dr. Somnath Singh. Last year also, you were kind enough to grace the National Healthcare Hackathon. This year it is the International Healthcare Hackathon. He's a serial learner himself. He has PhD in management, master's degrees in business administration, social work, sociology, rural development, certifications in public policy, compliance, sustainability. And his extensive work includes project implementation management, capacity building, resource mobilization, team building, stakeholder management, and establishing ethical business practices, which has made him a distinguished leader in the space of organization development and governance. And he has also published a lot of research, best practice compendium on anti-corruption in healthcare, right up to soft skills training toolkit for health workers. So multiple publications. He's been recognized by Government of India and several global organizations, while he remains committed to addressing the national, international challenges, leveraging his expertise of knowledge and experience in this sector. Dr. Somnath Singh, very warm welcome to you again to the IIIT Sri City International Healthcare Hackathon, to all our participants. We're very privileged to have listened to Sunita ji. Now we have Dr. Somnath Singh, the Deputy Director of United Nations Global Compact Network India. Sir, the stage is yours to share with us about your journey, about UN Global Compact Network, and what are some of the impactful areas you're working, and how do you see the relevance of the hackathon in driving the change? Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Dr. Karthik Ramesh. And good evening, everyone. It is truly an honor to be here today among such esteemed leaders, change maker, and professionals who are deeply committed to advancing sustainable business practices. I extend my heartfelt gratitude to IIIT International Healthcare Hackathon hosted by IIIT Sri City in association with BITS Plani Dubai and Bangalore-based Prachi Partha Hospital. My heartfelt thanks to Dr. Karthik Ramesh for inviting me again to speak on this platform and for their efforts in organizing this insightful gathering. A special thanks to all the participants for taking the time to engage in discussion that shape the future of responsible business and sustainable development in India. Your presence here signifies a shared commitment towards ethical governance, environmental responsibility, and social impact. Dr. Karthik, because you want me to share my views and the approaches that can help the healthcare sectors to grow and to be strengthened in India. Before that, I would like to give a brief introduction about the United Nations Global Compact Network India, who we are and how we are working to take sustainable development goals forward. So UN Global Compact Network India is the Indian arm of the United Nations Global Compact, which is based out in New York, and it is the world's largest corporate sustainability initiatives. And our mission is to help Indian businesses, public and private sector, and civil society organization aligned with the UNGC 10 principle in the areas of human rights, labor, environment, and anti-corruption, while also advancing the sustainable development goals. And with over 500 members in India, UNGSNI is largest corporate sustainability initiatives in India and plays a key role in shaping responsible business practices. So this is a brief, introduction of Global Compact Network India, and this is the style how we are working with different stakeholders in India. Uh, the impact of UNGSNI in promoting ethical practices in healthcare. I would like to mention that the need for strengthening transparency and ethics in healthcare in India is very, very important because I'm not a medical doctor, but I have done PhD in healthcare management. So I'm well aware of the kind of issues that being faced by the healthcare sector in India. So I would like to give brief, just give a brief landscape of healthcare system in India because healthcare is a fundamental pillar of human well-being. Yet in India, the sector faces significant ethical and transparency challenges that hinder equitable access to equity care. Issues such as corruption in procurement, lack of accountability in medical services, unethical pricing practices, and inadequate governance structure comprise patient safety and erode public trust. Strengthening transparency and ethical standard is not just a regularity necessity, but a moral imperative to ensure value-based care, fair treatment, and responsible business practices. A robust ethical framework fostering greater accountability among healthcare providers, pharmaceutical companies, and policy makers, reducing fraud, improving efficiency, and ultimately enhancing health outcomes. By embedding, reducing, by embedding anti-corruption measures, ethical governance, and corporate integrity in healthcare operations, we can, create a resilient and patient-centric system that uphold the principle of justice, fairness, and trust, cornerstone, which are the cornerstone of a sustainable and inclusive healthcare. So, ensuring ethical practices in healthcare, UN Global Compact Network India is just putting up lots of efforts to engaging different stakeholders in its mission, in its, planning. So for that purpose, the impact is visible in India in healthcare sectors. But for last 5 years, I have been, working to, build some efforts to bring transparency, accountability, and making healthcare system more equitable, more transparent in India. And for that purpose, we are just putting lots of efforts with strategic approach, like how we are just strengthening transparency ethics in India. We have been running, the relevant project with support from, Siemens Integrity Initiatives and United Nations Global Compact, and focusing on healthcare governance, transparency, and accountability. Under this project, we are not only just getting awareness among the different stakeholders, but also we are just, ensuring stakeholders' ownership in taking anti-corruption collective action kind of initiatives forward. And under the same initiative, we are also, doing regular advocacy with the decision makers and sensitizing them and making them serious to come up with some policy papers to strengthen healthcare system in India. As Dr. Karthik Ramesh already mentioned that we came up with strategy documents on which talks about the best practices on anti-corruption for healthcare in India, which was shared with different stakeholders of healthcare. Even we have shared it with Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. This document is not benefiting the different stakeholders from the healthcare sector, but also teaching them how they can incorporate best practices in their policy, in their programs. Also, we are just closely working with the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare in incorporating our ideas in their programs and policy and engaging them in our different platforms, because generally just to create awareness among different stakeholders, we organize conferences, roundtable discussion, policy dialogues, and we generally involve policy makers and decision makers to to just show their interest to guide us to take the lead to implement those best practices in the idea in those states that is being framed by United Nations Global Compact Network India. One approach that Global Compact Network India is trust in, that is collective action against corruption in healthcare, because we consider that only one sector, one stakeholder, one company, one unit cannot ensure transparency, accountability, and ethical practices in healthcare. We alone can't, promote healthcare or strengthen healthcare sector in India. So we believe in collective action, and for that purpose, we just bring different potential stakeholder on one platform. We just sensitize them. We just, build their capacity on kind of strategy they can implement, they can incorporate in their policies, in their program. So this collective action approach is really benefiting the initiative of anti-corruption collective action of the United Nations Global Compact Network India, and people are just showing their interest. Not only is just providing recommendation and suggestion to improve healthcare sector, but also providing their support in different ways, mean organizing different events, in conducting training on responsible business practices and corporate governance, in developing partnership with us. So different way they are just supporting us. So this is called the real weapon of healthcare sectors, how we can improve healthcare sector. So collective action of multi-stakeholders is very, very compulsory. The next the approach that United Nations Global Compact Network India is just emphasizing is encouraging business integrity, because generally we organize different programs, different projects on healthcare. In all the efforts, in all the programs, we generally emphasize on promoting integrity, which just comprises transparency, accountability, ethical business practices. So business, once we just promote integrity in the business, we can ensure the sector, not only the healthcare sector but all the sector, are more transparent, and they can just provide the equal services to the beneficiaries. So in that for that purpose, business integrity becomes very, very necessary for UN Global Compact Network India's to create awareness among all the sectors, and uh, give them platform to ensure good integrity in their system, good governance in their system. So this is one of the these are the approaches that UN Global Compact Network India is just emphasizing to promote healthcare in India. Apart from this, because conducting regular research to identify the current challenges, to get the recommendation to improve healthcare sectors, we do different research. We come up with the different publications. Recently, we just review the healthcare policy of Government of India and come up with recommendation that Government of India can incorporate or can just implement to improve healthcare sector in India. And also we have just come up with consensus framework for pharmaceutical sectors. As per my knowledge is concerned, because pharmaceutical sector is just is just contributing a lot in the healthcare sectors, and this is the sector, if they start emphasizing on promoting integrity and bringing a good governance in the system, definitely we would be able to improve healthcare sectors in India. So this consensus framework will not only bring all the pharmaceutical sectors together to work to strengthen healthcare sector in India, but also lots of the challenges being faced by healthcare sectors can be addressed easily in consultation with the custodian ministry and other stakeholders. So these are the things that we are doing. And one important thing, because as Dr. Karthik Ramesh has already mentioned during my introduction, that I'm also emphasizing on promoting ESG. Hope everyone is aware of it, because it has become the buzzword globally, that each sector, whether it is healthcare sector, whether it is businesses, they are focusing on integrating, incorporating, and implementing all their strategy aligned with the ESG aspect, ESG pillars of development. So similarly, we have also aligned our different strategy to strengthen healthcare sectors with the G vertical G pillar or G aspect of ESG, because we believe if we have good governance in place, we can definitely improve healthcare sectors and other sectors to contribute to strengthen healthcare sector in India. So I think from my side, this is the final word, and uh, the encouragement for all the stakeholders to please be collective, be united, and just start implementation of your good practices across all the healthcare sectors. So collective action is something that can help to improve healthcare sector in India. Thank you very much, Dr. Karthik Ramesh, for inviting me and giving me this opportunity to share my ideas how UN Global Compact Network India is just contributing to improving healthcare sector in India through active engagement of different stakeholders and policy advocacy with the potential stakeholders, including custodian ministry. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Somnath Singh, for that wonderful session. In fact, I'm very happy to tell you that we have uh, one of the main sponsors of our healthcare hackathon event, who is basically the Yusuf family, Dr. Yusuf, and we have Dr. Yusuf's wife, Mrs. Punita Yusuf. And you will be very interested to know that their daughter is also working in United Nations. So I will request them to please talk a little bit about their daughter and the stellar work which she's doing in United Nations in New York. But Dr. Yusuf is one of the world's topmost cardiac surgeons. He works with Apollo Hospital as a robotic cardiac surgeon, and he's also part of um, Yusuf IIIM, which is basically a robotic cardiac surgery group we're planning to create across the world, which will provide affordable robotic cardiac surgery. Mrs. Punita Yusuf is a humanitarian leader. She's an advocate, lawyer. She's an MBA in public health. Dr. Somnath, you may be interested to know this also. And she is also basically an entrepreneur, serial entrepreneur running multiple businesses. And Mrs. Punita Yusuf, is also the proud mother of two daughters, the elder one, as I said, being part of United Nations itself. So I'm sure there's a lot of work to be done together, Dr. Somnath, with the Yusufs in India and abroad. They are citizens of UK. So thank you again once, Dr. Somnath. We will see you soon in person. And I will move on to Dr. Yusuf and Mrs. Punita Yusuf, who have basically been very, very active in enabling this ecosystem for our students through the healthcare hackathon, the IIIT Sri City International Healthcare Hackathon. They have also helped us to fund this hackathon in a very generous way, which is enabling the prize money for this IIIT Sri City International Hackathon. So we're very grateful to Dr. Yusuf and Mrs. Punita Yusuf for this gesture. And now we will hear from our key sponsors. Over to you both. Thank you.
Thank you, Karthik, and good evening to all. It's been thank you for introducing us, Karthik, and it's been an honor and pleasure to be introduced into the group or being involved in the hackathon, healthcare hackathon, through Karthik and his team. Thanks very much for that. We are really privileged, and it's a pleasure to be part of this. I, as a cardiac surgeon, I have specialized in robotic cardiac surgery. Basically, I'm from Chennai, so not very far from Sri City. And I did my MBBS at Stanley Medical College. And then we went abroad to train, but spent long years, 20 long years, training and work, which part of it was robotic assisted cardiac training. So we always wanted to, me and my wife, we both were merit students from government colleges. She's a law graduate, of course, then did MBA in the UK. I specialized in FRCS, general surgery, and cardiac surgery in the UK. So we wanted to give back to the society where we grew and we initially became doctors or qualified professionals. And also we had two daughters, so my wife was very keen. They grow up in our roots and culture, which is one of our best assets as Indians. So the best asset we have is our culture. So we wanted them to grow during their later school years. And we have been back now for about 10 years. I'm proud to say I brought back robotic cardiac surgery to India. And now we have been training surgeons across the country, and we are now got about 12 to 15 centers which perform robotic cardiac surgeries across the world. Although we do one of the highest volumes, and the main advantage of robotic surgery is getting the patient off without cutting open the chest, which is the biggest fear of cardiac surgery for many patients. And this is working well. There is still a long way to go. So we are happy to partner with IIIT in Sri City and get young minds together for this healthcare hackathon and innovators to do more by integrating AI and other innovative technology to further benefit more patients, not just in India, across the globe. Thank you.
Good evening, all. I think my husband talk about what we do, what we aim, and I am being a surgeon's wife. I seen lot of people suffer because of the health, and if the head of the house loses his life, the total family get collapsed. So India, we have a pyramid system like that. So I am into charity, very little quantity. If you see the full picture, we are very dot in that, I believe. And but health service is a biggest charity. I think if you save a life, you are saving a generation. I'm so proud to be part of a surgeon's life. So we are into to support health. Our charity supports health and no hunger. So we focus on the food. When the children are suffering from hunger, that's really very traumatized situation for them. So we cook food every Friday and distribute for nearly 400, 500 homeless people. And we try to take part in a small way to do something to our country. And our daughters are in UN and the other one doing corporate law. They are into the same route. Our religion is be good, nice, and kind, do some service. That is our religious path. So we have a trust called Faith to Unite, not divide. So we believe all the faith should unite people, not divide. So do something to our country, take care of the healthcare, and educate as much as possible, so we can. It will make a small difference at least. So we are so happy to take part in Hackathon. Thank you, Karthik, for the opportunity. Hope to see you all day after tomorrow in person. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much to the family of Yusufs, Dr. M.M. Yusuf and Mrs. Punita Yusuf, once again for your generous sponsorship. And the participants will get a chance. The winners will be personally recognized by Dr. M.M. Yusuf and Mrs. Punita Yusuf, along with the CEO of Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore, Bakshi Parthasarathi Hospital, and a few other dignitaries. So we are very excited to meet all of you in less than 48 hours from now at IIIT Sri City at the concluding session of the IIIT Sri City International Healthcare Hackathon, held in collaboration with BITS Pilani Dubai. And we are very grateful once again to our sponsors, MM Yusuf, IIIM, as well as University, who were part of the show yesterday, and our knowledge partners, Yukon Capital, headed by Anish Madhav, and Healthcare Continuum, headed by Mr. Manish Rastogi. We're also grateful to the Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore, Bhakti Parthisarthi Hospital for being an able partner. And last but not the least, we are very excited to be working with Sri Madhusudan Sai Institute of Medical Science and Research on some of these collaborative areas of healthcare transformation. And we are also very excited that we are partnering with all of these great organizations, great leaders. It has been a very engaging 1 hour. Once again, thanks to Ms. Sunita, as well as Dr. Somnath Singh from United Nations and Dr. M.M. Yusuf, who is the world's topmost robotic cardiac surgeon and running MM Idayam, the Robotic Cardiac Surgery Center across India and abroad. With this, I'll hand over to Harish Vardhana. Harish, you want to give a quick update on what is going to happen from here? Thank you so much.
Yes, thanks, Karthik. So I will just quickly run through some of the important insights for round two. And we want to ensure that most of the time spent by the students be successfully transformed into the increasing chances for advancing to round three. And we focus on 5 different key things. Well, the first one is the development of the prototype and the redefinition of their concepts. So the teams are advised to focus on building a functional prototype, it be software or a hardware, and ensure practicality and feasibility are there rather than theoretical concepts. The second one is to demonstrate technical execution and innovation using clear methodologies, frameworks, and technologies, and showcasing approach about how innovative and scalable it with respect to the healthcare domain. The third one is a strong use case. So the problem statement has been clearly defined, and the teams are advised to sync their problem statements with their solution. So how the percentage of fit with their problem and the solution is also a big matter of fact. And the fourth one is creating a clear presentation, because we are almost having like 170 uh, presentations, and we would expect the teams to have a clear definition of what they are about to tell and what they're about to show. So we already shared an 8-page template to all the teams. So we would request the teams to use a lot of visuals, mockups, and data to convey their key points. And the fifth one is an engaging demo video, which is like it can be up to 2 to 5 minutes long, which can show the prototype in action. So whether it's a UI walkthrough or whether it's a working model or simulation, that will be easy for us to validate the different teams. And what we will be looking for is the problem solution fit, the technical depth and innovation, the prototype development, the presentation and the storytelling, as well as the impact and scalability. So this gives us an edge for the teams as well as the evaluation committee to pick up the best of the lot. And we would like to wish best of luck, and let's build something impactful together. That's it, Karthik.
Thank you, Harish. And thanks to all of our participants across India and UAE. Keep watching the WhatsApp community group for more updates on the next steps. As Harish has walked through, we are in the process of shortlisting, and we have a very elite jury who are actually constantly evaluating the solutions. And we look forward to not only giving the prize money for this event, but we are also looking forward to giving opportunities to incubate, some of your ideas with through pitches, for the top 20 teams, the best ideas which are ready for some kind of a minimum viable prototype. A special fund will be created by one of our investment capital partners, Yukon Capital in UAE. And Mr. Anish, the founder CEO, has assured us that he will get us a specific fund created where startups can pitch, they can opt for debentures based on the ideas which come out of this. And also, we have a great offer from Sri Madhusudan Sai Institute of Medical Science and Research for enabling rural and social healthcare impact using some of these solutions and impacting at national and global level scale. We are very grateful once again to IIIT Sri City, the management, Colonel P. Uma Shankar, Mr. Bala S., CEO of Strat Infinity, Professor Mallikarjun, Professor Divya Brahman, and all of the professors who are working behind the scenes. Grateful to Dr. Professor Vilas from BITS Pilani, Associate Professor, Professor Shrikant Chade, Professor of Practice, Professor Chakradhar, and last but not the least, Professor Sovet Banerjee, BITS Pilani, Dubai, for being great international partners. And we also thank Sadhguru Sri Madhusudan Sai and his institute for creating the social awareness around this, along with our corporate partners, IDEM, as well as Mversity, Yukon Capital, Knowledge Partners, IFIA Bharat, as well as Healthcare Continuum. So with this, we will conclude our session today, and we wish all the participants all the best ahead in the last 2 days of the hackathon. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Thank you. Harish, you can stop the live stream.
Okay, Karthik. I think.
Okay. Thank you, Harish. Thanks, everybody. Thank you, Professor Vilas and Dr. Mallikarjun. Thank you so much. Thanks a lot.